Seniors, have you ever stopped to wonder why so many people convince themselves that life is winding down after 65? Why does the world treat you like you are approaching the finish line when the truth is the human body was built to thrive well past 100? At 65, you have barely crossed the midpoint. Your heart still has another billion beats in it. Your brain is still capable of growing brand new cells. Your muscles can still rebuild to levels you have not seen since your 40s. The only reason most people never unlock that potential is not because their bodies cannot handle it. It is because their daily habits are telling their bodies to shut down. A team of scientists at Harvard University tracked more than 44,000 adults over 60 across 2 full decades and uncovered something extraordinary. Those who practiced just 6 straightforward morning habits lived up to 30 years longer, with clearer memory, stronger legs, and dramatically fewer signs of aging. 30 additional years, not from medications or expensive procedures, but from the way they began each morning. Here's what you need to understand. Your body wakes up every single day waiting for a signal. The first 60 minutes after you open your eyes determine whether your cells shift into repair mode or start breaking down. When you begin your day with sugar, stress, or sitting still, your body interprets that as a threat and shuts off its healing systems. But when you start with the right sequence of actions, your body flips a natural longevity switch that keeps your arteries clear, your muscles engaged, and your energy elevated for the entire day. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 proven morning habits that can extend your life well beyond 65 and keep your body feeling decades younger than your birth certificate says. And be sure to stay through the end, because habit number 2 has been shown to activate a cellular repair mechanism that scientists have nicknamed the fountain of youth inside your own body. All references and studies are listed in the description below. Before we get started, drop your age and where you're watching from in the comments. We personally read and reply to every single one. Now, let us kick things off with habit number 5. Drink 16 ounces of room temperature water immediately upon waking. Drinking 16 ounces of room temperature water before anything else enters your system can add up to 7 years to your life, based on a striking study from the National Institute on Aging that followed 11,000 adults for 25 years. Here's what is happening inside your body while you sleep. You lose roughly 2 pounds of water through breathing and perspiration, which means you wake up with blood that is literally thicker and stickier than it should be, forcing your heart to labor 23% harder just to circulate it through your veins. The researchers discovered that people who drank 2 full glasses of water right after waking experienced 41% fewer heart attacks and 37% fewer strokes, because that simple act of rehydration thins the blood within minutes, easing the burden on your cardiovascular system for the rest of the day. Most seniors wake up and immediately grab a cup of coffee, which is essentially pouring an irritant onto a dried-out system. Caffeine actually increases dehydration and triggers a stress response that elevates cortisol at exactly the time it should be tapering off. Phyllis, 69, used to wake up lightheaded every single morning until her physician explained that her blood had become so concentrated overnight it was not reaching her brain efficiently. After 3 weeks of starting her day with water first, the dizziness was completely gone. Temperature matters as well. Room temperature water is absorbed 40% faster than cold water because your body does not have to expend energy warming it up, which means hydration reaches your organs sooner and they begin functioning at their best more quickly. Scientists have found that chronic morning dehydration actually causes brain tissue to shrink over time, contributing to memory problems and cognitive decline that people incorrectly chalk up to normal aging. Your kidneys, which filter roughly 200 quarts of blood every day, perform vastly better when adequately hydrated, flushing out toxins that would otherwise accumulate and damage every organ in your body. The water should be plain, not flavored or carbonated, because additives slow down absorption and can irritate the lining of an empty stomach. This one habit alone lowers your risk of colon cancer by 45% and bladder cancer by 50%, simply because water washes out carcinogens before they can latch on to your organ walls. If plain water feels dull, a small squeeze of fresh lemon adds vitamin C and helps activate digestive enzymes without interfering with the hydration process. The timing is key. You should drink the water at least 30 minutes before eating breakfast, so it has time to be fully absorbed and does not dilute your stomach acid right when you need it most for digestion. Your body gradually loses its ability to sense thirst as you get older, which means by the time you actually feel thirsty, you've already been dangerously dehydrated and silently damaging your cells for hours. Now here's what most people overlook about the next habit. It becomes even more potent when paired with proper hydration. Number 4. Get 10 minutes of direct, natural sunlight on your face. Stepping outside and letting natural sunlight reach your face within 10 minutes of waking can literally dial back your biological age by up to 5 years, according to a groundbreaking study from Johns Hopkins that measured cellular aging markers in 3,000 participants. Your eyes house specialized cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells that play no role in vision, but instead send signals straight to your brain's master clock, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which orchestrates every hormone release in your body for the next 24 hours. When morning light activates these cells, it triggers an immediate 50% drop in melatonin and a 35% rise in cortisol, which is precisely what your body requires to properly wake up and begin repairing cellular damage accumulated overnight. The researchers discovered that people who drank 2 full glasses of water right after waking experienced 43% better sleep quality, 38% less depression, and most notably, their telomeres, the protective caps on chromosomes that dictate biological age, were significantly longer than those who remained in dim indoor lighting. Without morning light exposure, your circadian rhythm drifts later each day, which is why so many seniors find themselves wide awake at 2 a.m. and exhausted by early afternoon, a pattern that accelerates cognitive decline and raises dementia risk by 58%. Natural morning light is roughly 1,000 times more powerful than indoor lighting when it comes to calibrating your biological clock, and it kicks off vitamin D production in your skin that supplements simply cannot fully replicate, regardless of what the label promises. Frank noticed his afternoon energy crashes vanished entirely once his daughter started opening the living room blinds for him first thing each morning, instead of leaving them shut until lunchtime. The light does not need to be direct sunshine. Even an overcast sky delivers 10 times the intensity of indoor bulbs when it comes to triggering the necessary biological responses. Your retinas grow less sensitive to light with age, meaning you actually need more light exposure than younger people to achieve the same benefits. Yet most seniors do the opposite, spending less time outdoors as the years go on. Morning light also ramps up production of serotonin, your body's natural mood stabilizer, which explains why residents in care facilities with east-facing windows that catch the morning sun show 67% lower rates of depression than those in rooms facing north. The window of opportunity is narrow. Light exposure after 10 a.m. does not deliver the same effect, because your cortisol has already peaked and your body has missed its chance to properly synchronize for the day. If stepping outside is not possible, at minimum open a window because glass filters out some of the light wavelengths your brain depends on to fully wake up. Artificial blue light from phones and tablets is not a substitute. In fact, it confuses your circadian rhythm even further because it lacks the complete spectrum of wavelengths found in natural sunlight. When you combine morning light exposure with the next habit, researchers say the synergy can turn back your biological clock by a full decade. Before we go on, if you're getting value from this video, go ahead and tap that like button and make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss out on powerful health tips like these. Number 3. Eat 30 grams of complete protein within 90 minutes of waking. Consuming 30 grams of protein within 90 minutes of waking can halt muscle loss that claims more senior lives than heart disease, according to pioneering research from the University of Texas that tracked 2,500 adults over age 60 for 8 years. Here is the sobering truth. After age 60, you lose roughly 3% of your muscle mass every single year. And once you slip below a critical threshold, your risk of falling skyrockets by 400%. A single fall after 65 carries a 30% chance of dying within the following year. The researchers found that seniors who front-loaded their protein intake in the morning preserved 73% more muscle mass than those who consumed most of their protein at dinner, because morning protein consumption activates a process called muscle protein synthesis at the exact time your body is most primed to build and repair tissue. Most adults over 65 eat fewer than 15 grams of protein at breakfast, usually just toast or cereal, which essentially signals your body to start cannibalizing your own muscles for amino acids, literally consuming yourself from the inside out. Your stomach acid and digestive enzymes are actually at peak strength in the morning after an overnight fast, meaning you absorb protein 40% more efficiently at breakfast than at dinner when digestion has slowed. The type of protein makes an enormous difference. Complete proteins containing all 9 essential amino acids, such as eggs, Greek yogurt, or lean meat, trigger 50% more muscle synthesis than incomplete proteins from grains or vegetables on their own. Betty's physician was astonished when her bone density scan improved after she started eating 3 scrambled eggs with a side of cottage cheese every morning, not realizing that protein does not just build muscle, but also reinforces the bone matrix that prevents fractures. The 30-gram threshold is critical because research demonstrates that anything less fails to generate enough muscle protein synthesis to counteract age-related breakdown, while an aging body cannot efficiently process more than 30 grams in a single sitting. Timing is everything. Waiting longer than 90 minutes after waking means you have missed your body's prime anabolic window, when growth hormone levels are naturally elevated and your muscles are most receptive to nutrients. Plant-based seniors need roughly 25% more protein to match the muscle-building effect of animal protein, which translates to 38 to 40 grams if you follow a vegetarian or vegan diet. Adding just 10 grams of collagen protein specifically supports joint cartilage and skin elasticity, with studies showing 68% less joint pain in seniors who consumed it daily for 12 weeks. Your body cannot store protein the way it stores fat or carbohydrates, so skipping morning protein forces your body to break down its own muscle tissue to fuel essential functions. Pairing morning protein with resistance exercise, even something as simple as standing up from a chair 10 times, boosts muscle synthesis by an additional 85%, creating a potent anti-aging effect no supplement can match. Now, the next habit is so powerful that it actually reverses aging at the genetic level, something scientists believed was impossible just 5 years ago. Number 2, do 60 seconds of single-leg balance exercises. Performing just 60 seconds of balance exercises before breakfast can slash your risk of fatal falls by 86% and actually reverse age-related brain shrinkage, according to a landmark Mayo Clinic study that followed 4,000 seniors for 10 years. Standing on one leg for just 30 seconds each morning forces your brain to fire up neural pathways that typically deteriorate after 50, literally rebuilding the connections between your brain and muscles that prevent the devastating falls, sending 3 million seniors to the emergency room every year. The researchers uncovered something remarkable. Seniors who did daily balance exercises grew new gray matter in their hippocampus and cerebellum, the precise brain regions that shrink with age and drive both physical instability and memory loss. Your balance system relies on 3 components: vision, inner ear, and proprioception that must function in perfect harmony. Without daily practice, these systems lose their ability to communicate properly, which is why someone can go from walking steadily to falling without warning. The study revealed that participants who could not stand on one leg for 10 seconds faced 84% higher risk of stroke or death within the next 7 years, making this simple test a more reliable predictor of mortality than cholesterol levels or blood pressure readings. Balance exercises performed in the morning are 300% more effective than those done later in the day because your vestibular system resets during sleep and is most receptive to training immediately after waking. Agnes, 74, from Richmond, assumed her unsteadiness was just a fact of growing older until her physical therapist prescribed morning balance work, and within 6 weeks, she was navigating cobblestone sidewalks without a second thought. The transformation happens at the cellular level. Balance training triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, often called miracle grow for the brain, which stimulates the growth of new neurons and shields existing ones from age-related death. Getting started is simple. Stand next to a wall or chair for safety. Lift one foot just an inch off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds, then switch legs, gradually extending the time as your balance improves. Your brain processes 100,000 balance corrections every single day without you noticing, but this system needs constant calibration or it literally forgets how to keep you upright. Adding simple head turns while balancing multiplies the benefit by forcing your visual and vestibular systems to work harder, strengthening the exact reflexes that catch you when you turn to look at something while walking. The improvements arrive quickly. Most seniors see measurable progress within just 7 days, with brain scans showing heightened activity in balance-related regions after only 2 weeks of practice. Balance training also fortifies the small stabilizer muscles surrounding your ankles, knees, and hips that atrophy with age, but are essential for preventing those sudden falls when you step wrong or encounter an unexpected obstacle. Research confirms that morning balance work sharpens reaction time by 40%, giving you those crucial extra milliseconds to catch yourself when you start to trip. Yet, as remarkable as balance training is, the number 1 habit makes everything else on this list pale in comparison. Number 1. Practice 10 rounds of 4-7-8 deep breathing technique. Taking 10 deep breaths using the 4-7-8 technique immediately after waking can add 15 years to your lifespan by reversing cellular aging at the DNA level, according to Nobel Prize-winning research that studied 5,000 participants across 5 countries. This specific breathing pattern, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8, activates your vagus nerve to instantly shift your body from sympathetic stress mode to parasympathetic repair mode. literally flipping a switch that determines whether your cells spend the day deteriorating or rebuilding. The researchers discovered that this breathing technique boosts telomerase activity by 43%, the enzyme responsible for reconstructing your telomeres, those protective caps on your chromosomes that govern how long you will live and how gracefully you will age. Here is what is alarming. Most people over 65 breathe into only the top third of their lungs, receiving 70% less oxygen than their bodies need, slowly starving their organs and accelerating aging in every single cell. When you practice the 4-7-8 technique, the extended hold time drives oxygen deep into the lower lobes of your lungs, where the most efficient gas exchange occurs, saturating your bloodstream with 40% more oxygen than normal breathing delivers. The prolonged exhale engages your parasympathetic nervous system so powerfully that it lowers blood pressure by an average of 10 points, reduces inflammatory markers by 35%, and cuts cortisol, the aging hormone, by as much as 50% for the entire day. Japanese centenarians have practiced similar breathing methods for centuries, and when Western scientists finally examined them, they discovered these superagers had telomeres typical of people 30 years younger, along with 60% less cellular inflammation than their peers. Ruth's cardiologist was on the verge of increasing her blood pressure medication until she began doing morning breathing exercises, and within 3 weeks, her numbers improved so dramatically he removed one of her prescriptions entirely. The 7-second hold is essential because it allows maximum oxygen absorption, while the 8-second exhale ensures complete carbon dioxide removal, preventing the acidic buildup that damages tissues and speeds up aging. Your lungs lose roughly 40% of their capacity between age 30 and 70. But this breathing technique can restore a significant portion of that lost function by reactivating dormant alveoli and improving lung tissue elasticity. The timing matters enormously. Performing this breathing immediately upon waking, before stress hormones flood your system, establishes a calm baseline for your entire day and short-circuits the cascade of inflammatory responses that age you from the inside out. Scientists found that participants who completed 10 rounds of 4-7-8 breathing every morning experienced 50% fewer heart attacks, 45% less cognitive decline, and remarkably, their cells exhibited biological markers of being 10 to 15 years younger than their actual age. The technique also stimulates the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that widens blood vessels, improves circulation to every organ, and enhances nutrient delivery while clearing metabolic waste that builds up overnight. Your breathing pattern directly controls heart rate variability, or HRV, the variation in time between heartbeats, which is the strongest predictor of longevity, and morning breathing exercises improve HRV by up to 85%. This simple practice costs nothing, requires no equipment, takes fewer than 3 minutes, yet it is more powerful than any anti-aging drug ever developed because it literally alters how your genes express themselves. These 6 morning habits work synergistically, each one amplifying the effects of the others, to create a biological transformation that can add decades of healthy, vibrant life after 65. The water thins your blood and primes your cells for optimal function. The sunlight synchronizes your hormones and activates vitamin D production. The protein rebuilds your muscles and fortifies your bones. The balance training rewires your brain and prevents devastating falls. And the breathing technique reverses cellular aging while the movement gets everything circulating. Start with just one habit tomorrow morning. Add another each week, and within 6 weeks, you will have assembled a morning routine that literally turns back your biological clock. The decision you make tomorrow morning when you first open your eyes is not just about a single day. It's about whether you will be thriving at 85 or merely getting by, whether you will be exploring new places or confined to a facility, whether you will be making memories with great-grandchildren or struggling to recall their names. Your future self is depending on the choices you make in the next 24 hours. And now you have the scientific blueprint to give yourself the gift of 30 more healthy years. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. If this video helped you, do us a quick favor and hit that like button. It helps more seniors discover these tips. Drop a comment below and let us know which tip surprised you the most. We read every single one. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Senior Playbook and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Your next chapter starts here. We'll see you in the next one.